Shalom, people of God. A wonderful morning to you all. Today is a special Sunday where we are celebrating the Mother's Day. If you don't mind, and close to you there is a mother who is sitting close to you, can you wish her a happy Mother's Day?
But isn't there a form of motherly nature in a father? Probably someone would say also to a father.
No, Father's Day is coming. Father's Day is coming. Today is Mother's Day.
And we can never take away the light from our mothers. Our mothers, they really did a lot for us as we were growing up, and even for a society to be shaped up, it is because of a mother, and it's such a privilege to be celebrating mothers today.
Absolutely. Today we've got a testimony for the Mother's Day. Mother's Day special. As we all know in this house, we've got a special mother who has mothered all of us over many, many years, through many challenges, through many successes. She has been there for us. She has held our hands, and she has seen that we got through every challenge that we went through. I know you know this special woman. She is not yet here with us, but I know she is here with us in spirit. Before we go ahead with this testimony, I just want us to have to rise up and just acknowledge her motherhood, her being mother over your life, over my life. Let's just give a round of applause and thank God for the mother that He has given us, Ruth Emmanuel-Makandiwa.
Come on, you can do better, people of God. Thank you so much, people of God. You know, Doctor, when you look at the work that our mother is doing, you can't help but notice the heart of God that she carries everywhere. She makes sure that she touches every spirit that is in this place, and even people that are beyond. I know of a testimony that you showed me last time of the work that she did even for someone who doesn't even go to church. And it touched me so much because it was a life that had been compromised. But you see her hand coming to serve such a life. And it's quite something that is pretty emotional when I look at her work. You know, there's several people that you meet giving their testimonies, saying that I'd lost hope over my life, but for some reason, I sent a message to a number, and our mother responded, and she said this to me, and she comforted me. Someone actually told me that that person was on the verge of suicide, and what she only needed was a word from someone, and that amazing person was our mother. So no matter how many we are right now, we have access to our mother's heart because she is available spiritually and physically, and even in our needs. And we see that even with the testimony that we are having today, that it constructed someone's life with life skill training, which is happening this coming week, right?
Yes, this coming week, yes.
There's going to be
from the 20th of May.
From the 20th of May. And it goes on to show you she's not just coming to just help the less privileged. She's also coming to help the privileged. And she's also coming to give skills to the unskilled. If I may be allowed, there's a meeting that she had with her partners a few days ago. She said, Agape Family Care is not only for the less privileged people. There are some people that are in higher levels of life, probably. They send their child to the most expensive school. but they might have a challenge for at least 4 months or so. Agape Family Care comes and it helps those kind of people that might be a CEO, that might be a director, and maintain their lifestyle, because we do not want the children to see what has happened to their life, but yet we want to sustain their life. Our mother has bred pilots and so forth, and in that regard she said, my vision at this moment in time is that I want to do a skills training school. I want to open a school where we can empower people life skills. I know you are here and you can be something to this vision. And our mother has spelled it out so clearly. I know Agape will come out and say it even more than I'm saying it right now. But I know you've got something that is in your heart that wants to be part of a greater vision like this. I would want you, and I would like to challenge you to go to Agape offices and connect to such a powerful thing, a powerful movement that is changing life. Doctor, today we've got such a lady who's got a powerful testimony.
Thank you, man of God. A few years ago, Agape called for a training workshop, and there is a lady who responded to this workshop. And she went for the workshop, and from that moment onwards, she hasn't looked back. Her life is going up and up and up. And all this is courtesy of our mother. As we know, she is the patron. She is the Agape Family Care itself. So without further ado, let me ask Miss Irene Mugwagwa to come forward. Can you come forward, ma'am, and share your powerful story? Let's give her a round of applause as she comes forward.
You know, we're trying to put order in this place. I think I should join the deco team, Doc.
Wow. Thank you, Ms. Mugwagwa, for joining us. We are very excited to have you today sharing your testimony.
Thank you so much for having me.
We understand that God of our father and our mother, Prophet Emmanuel-Makandiwa, Prophetess Ruth Makandiwa, has transformed your life in a very amazing and wonderful manner.
That is true. I really want to thank my mother, Mama Prophetess Ruth Makandiwa, and the Agape team. So much has changed in my life because of the training I received in beadwork and Macrame.
Wow. Okay, you can tell us where this story started from.
My beading story started in 2019. I was facing difficulties with employment, so I decided to do short courses. When I had done a number of short courses, they weren't giving me enough income. And I went for an exhibition at some point where there were ladies that were showcasing their works.
Sorry, before you talk about that short course, what were you doing in the previous life? What kind of employment were you in?
I'm a bookkeeper by profession.
You're a bookkeeper by profession?
Yes.
But from bookkeeping, you found the going getting tough.
Yes, I did.
You couldn't meet all your needs.
Yes, I did.
Then you decided to venture into a completely different area.
That is correct.
Okay.
When I went for this exhibition, the skills that I now had, I'd done deco balls, bottle deco, and I'd done a bit of macrame, but it did not have a perfect finish. So these were the things I was displaying. I found someone who was doing beadwork, and unfortunately, I had challenges in trying to get them to teach me. When we had ladies' morning prayer, it took a year trying to get someone to teach me. And when we had ladies' morning prayer, I mentioned it and asked other ladies to pray with me about it, that this person would teach me because I really wanted to learn beading. Shortly after, our cell leader came to my house and she said, that beading that we prayed about is being offered at church. Agape will be training that skill in beading and in Macrame. And that is how my journey began.
Wow. So this was your long-standing desire to learn
Yes.
beadwork,
Yes, it was.
and the supposed tutors were nowhere to be found.
They were not coming through. You would
And then
find they had excuses, but basically I think it was trying to protect their skill, not to teach someone. Because a year is a long time to wait for someone to teach you, and they have excuses.
And then now comes along Agape offering that very same training.
Yes. I began to mark it down on my calendar when I went and I paid for the course. I would count down every day and cross out on my calendar. The day for training came. The first day went by and I was not there. I woke up the second day of training and I remembered the training I've been marking down on my calendar started yesterday. And I just said to myself, no, let me go. I think the devil is fighting me. Let me go because I've been wanting to do this for so long. I went for that training. People had their bags half-made, necklaces half-made, and I had nothing. When I spoke to the teacher, they had already distributed materials, and he asked me to take a seat at one of the tables. The lady next to me asked me why I wasn't making anything, and I told her, I missed yesterday and the materials have already been distributed. She then asked the other ladies on the table, Askana passed down 2 beads. There were about 15 ladies, and they passed down the beads. Then she told me, if you grasp what I'm going to teach you now, this is what we learned yesterday. She taught me this is what I made. This is in 2009.
That's what you made in 2019.
Yes.
You still keep it up to today.
It's of such great sentimental value to me.
Wow.
When I finished making this, I took it to the teacher and I told him, this is the pattern that the ladies have taught me. And the teacher was impressed. It wasn't even 8 o'clock yet for the lessons to start. And he said, there's no need for me to teach you this pattern on the handbags anymore. You might as well progress and start making a second item. So I began to make the necklaces. I made a decision then, if I can make one thing now, I can make more. So let me make small things and learn as much as I can. As students had been put in batches and each group was learning something different. And I wanted to learn as much as I could in the one day that was left.
Sorry, so before all this, were you an arts person or you were just a bookkeeper?
I was just a bookkeeper.
You never knew that this was in you?
No.
Wow. Okay. It's okay. You can continue with your story.
I then got taught how to make a necklace like the one that's on the black mannequin. And I made a decision, no, I will not make the entire necklace because if I make the entire necklace, it will take me all day. So I made a small one that fits on a wine bottle just to grasp the concept. So I already know how to make the handbags. Now I know how to make the necklaces. The people learning macrame bags, when I grasped this concept, I then went to the group that was making macrame bags. And I asked the teacher.
What is macrame bags? What's that?
Macrame is...
It's not a medical term, right?
It's a beading and it's a stitch that you make using string. So then we were being taught how to make bags. But let me hasten to add, I can now make sandals with the same macrame cord. I can make bracelets as well and clothing, which I've expanded from what we were taught.
Wow.
So I asked them if they could teach me, and I highlighted to them that I have been taught how to make the basic pattern, but my bags do not sit. Your bag is supposed to sit properly on the ground. It's not meant to fall over. So they gave me a few strings because what I wanted was to get to the bottom of the bag and to learn a different pattern. There's so many patterns. So they allowed me to do that. And I left that day with 3 new skills, yet my other colleagues left with 1 skill.
Wow.
It actually goes on to show that you are pretty determined to do this.
Yes,
And-
I was.
And you are doing it as if your life depended upon it.
I really felt it depended on it. And I think my life now is testimony to that. It's now my business. I have a tax clearance in beading. I've got a company, a shop in town, and I specifically do the beading work, Macrame bags, and now I'm expanding. I'm making sandals as well. I'm making cultural wear. So for me, it did depend on it.
Wow, wow. So all this coming from the workshop, which was called for by our mother through Agape Family Care.
Our mother is amazing. This all came because of that training that she organized for us through Agape.
I see you are wearing a nice necklace. You made it yourself.
Yes, I did. This
And the
beautiful
earrings,
necklace.
you can see those are groundnuts.
Yes, they are. Art is beautiful. You can make what you want with what you want. Last year was the year of God beings, and God creates. So who am I not to create? I can make anything I want with anything I want.
Wow.
And I am living testimony of that.
Wow. So you have moved from just making necklaces and bags, but you are now even into fashion.
Yes, I am. And I make outfits for models. There
You can
is,
show us
if I
what you
can.
have, your products.
This is a beaded top. Thank you. This is a beaded top I made for a music video. If you go on YouTube, you will find it. This is part of a costume. So I made a complete costume. Not only this, I've also made part of the costumes. I think we all know Ja Praiser. On the Chiremera album cover, there's a headgear that he's wearing. I crafted that.
Wow.
You even made news headlines because we can actually see it on the screen that about Sakile Handcrafts. That's you, right?
Yes, it is.
That's your company, sir.
Yes, that is my company. I've had a number of TV interviews, I've had a number of newspaper publications because of beadwork. Please note, I said I was a bookkeeper. I was never in the newspaper because of bookkeeping. I never traveled because of bookkeeping, but because of beads. And these beads have helped me to meet influential people as well. Imagine I have met the First Lady because of beads at the agricultural show.
Maybe you could tell us about how you met the First Lady. Just tell us how you met the First Lady and what happened on that day.
Shortly after,
And also what then happened after meeting her.
okay, shortly after, it should be the first Corona lockdown, I then joined the Ministry of Women's Affairs. They also connect you, and they'll ask you, what do you do? And I told them I have a handcrafting skill in beadwork. So they asked me, what do you want? And I told them I'd like to go to the agricultural show. When the agricultural show came, they invited me and told me, you can come and display. I went. When the First Lady was coming in, you'll notice that she'll have security personnel, and they would go and stop. This is my observation. They'll stop where she would go and speak to the person or ask the products. So they passed my table and they went to the next person's table. So I thought she's not coming to my table. She walked past and she stood by the next person's table and she kept looking at my table. Then she walked back to my table.
Wow. And we understand that after this encounter, you were then also involved in the designing of the national dress for Zimbabwe.
There were national dress competitions last year, and we were making costumes that we were showcasing. So they were two of the costumes that I assisted in making, and the beadwork as well, the jewelry that went with those costumes
And all coming through
at the
your
State
hands.
House.
Wow.
And this is
You
all-
know, you know, man of God, I didn't attend the youth conference, but I also attended it. You know, this past week I was just imbibing into the recordings of the youth conference. And there is a statement where our father talks about the spider through its hands, working through its hands, and it's found in the State House. Yeah. And I was imagining, I've read I don't know how many books. I've never been to the State House. But this lady, through handwork, she's been to the State House. It's amazing
Amen.
how a gifted person, how doors can open for a gifted person.
And you know the most amazing part is that she decided to go to the skills training, which Agape and our mother was holding. And it has brought a change. It has managed to make her to get into the places that she never dreamt to be. Did you ever dream to be in the State House in your life?
No, not even to speak to the First Lady.
Wow.
Not even.
Maybe you can show us more products of what you are doing.
Sure.
These are the sandals.
Yes, these are slippers, and I've covered them with fabric.
Shows a lot of artwork that is coming through your hands. So this all emanated from the skills training.
Yes. With the skills training, you then learn to expand. The door it opened for me was to mix with other artists and handcrafters. So when I see a skill that I like, I
Is
will
that all
ask.
your work on the TV?
Some of it is my work. And those are my classmates.
Wow. So what is it that you are holding?
This is a bracelet.
It's a bracelet.
Yes, this is a bracelet. I've got clients who come from America to buy my things. So this American client came last year, and this year, she was here 2 weeks ago, and she showed me the patterns that she wanted me to make for her. So this is one of the patterns that she asked me to make. If I can take it out.
Ah, it's a bracelet. Wow.
It's beautiful. Wow. Can show us more if you still have.
You know curiosity.
What's
doctor.
this? It's a tie. Wow, made of beads. Wow. This is beautiful art. And this?
This is a bracelet. Street lingo, it's called a shambala.
Shambhala.
Yes, like I was saying,
Okay.
you can use any material.
So what is it made of?
Seashells.
Seashells.
Yes.
Okay, and what's that?
This is an earring.
That's an earring.
Yes. And all these inside are beads.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. This is something I haven't completed. This is a headgear, or you can wear it as a necklace. Africa Day is coming. Please place your orders.
So it's a headgear and a neck. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
It's amazing the number of things that you can now do.
It really is. And I'm so grateful to Agape and Mama. This is another earring.
It's another earring.
Yes, it's a different pattern as well.
And you were telling us a story about behind this earring.
Oh,
You can
yes.
briefly tell us the story.
I get clients and they'll come with different patterns. So you'll find what she did was she showed me a picture.
Where is she from, this one?
This one is another one from America as well.
Okay.
I've got clients in America and UK, they come. And hopefully next year and maybe later this year I'll be going. Something is cooking.
Okay. Okay.
What this client did was she showed me a picture of an earring she saw in a shop, and she said, I would like to have earrings like this. So I looked at the earring. By looking at it, I can tell how it's made,
Just by looking
just
at
by
it.
looking at it. So I then made her this earring, and she was quite shocked. But that's the grace that is now on my
Wow.
life.
Wow. The grace identifies the gift that's in you that you never knew about.
Yes, that is so true.
Wow. And this?
This is another bracelet. These are wooden beads. You'll find different, I classify my clients. You'll find we've got local clients and then I've got foreign clients. So you'll find with foreign clients, they like especially wooden beads and natural seeds. So if I know I've got a foreign client, what I'm going to bring out are these.
Oh, tell me about the story that is here. Where is this lady?
This bag that you see, have you heard about the King of England? This is where she is at his residence. This was a garden party. I made that bag for her. She came last month, and she's been my client for 3 years. She also comes every year. Even before she comes, she tells me she's coming. She is an actress, she's a musician.
So
Wow.
you're saying your work is now getting into palaces now.
Hallelujah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So tell me something. You now have presence in Zimbabwe. Tell us about the other countries that you have presence in.
I also have presence in Dubai.
Dubai.
Yes. I have presence in Tanzania, Malawi, UK, England, Zimbabwe, South Africa,
Wow.
And still going.
and still growing.
And all this came from a 2-day workshop.
Imagine.
In 2019.
Imagine. Yeah.
And I also understand that you have worked with even some more celebrities from Zimbabwe.
Yes, I have.
Some of them, there's a video that I saw where they shot a musical video in your shop,
Yes.
using it as a studio.
Yes.
Wow. Maybe if you don't mind telling us these celebrities.
I've worked directly with Tashilewe Zinza. She's worn my beadwork for a couple of shoots. I've also, there's the album cover for Ja Praiser, I think that you saw with the headgear. The items I made on that, the headgear that he's wearing, he's also wearing one of my bracelets. The lady with the red Zambia has got a headgear. She's got a bracelet, the staff that she's holding. And then the other lady, the fan that she's holding, I made that. She's wearing a choker and she's got 2 bracelets. I've also worked with Nduna Music. Nduna Music, the lady in the video was wearing this top that I was showing you. I made, it's got no name, this peacock thing that hangs out from behind her. Like when a peacock opens its feathers.
You just call it
Yes.
an Irene Mugwagwa.
Yes, an Irene Mugwagwa.
You know, I've seen some shows where somebody's on the red carpet and they are asked, what are you wearing? And he says, I'm wearing Pino Gardini, I'm
Oh,
wearing
wow.
whatever the name of the designer.
I receive. I receive.
So now,
So I'll get royalties for that idea.
so now people will be saying I'm wearing Irene.
Hallelujah.
Wow.
Yes.
And then finally, you also, your work also features in the movie industry.
Oh, yes. There's a movie that's not yet released. I've made costumes, a couple of costumes for them. So not only am I in the music, I'm in the movie industry. I'm in palaces. I'm in state houses. And people that influencers, Dr. Ndlukula.
You actually had to meet up with her as well.
Yes, she's also my mentor as well. through some of the courses I've done and trainings through Zimtrade, and another one with AWE, which is Academy for Women Entrepreneurs, which is with the American Embassy.
Wow, this is amazing, people of God. All this coming through the hands of our mother, who availed the opportunity and you went for it. And you know, by the way, when our mother announces these programs, I've seen there is a huge bias that these are meant for women. They are not for women. Even the upcoming training workshop, everyone is free to attend. Yesterday here, there was Mother's Day. And I didn't hear an announcement that it's women who are giving their mothers. It was for everyone. And I salute, there were few men who came. I salute those few men who came yesterday to give their mothers. Because I know whenever our mother avails any program, it's for the benefit of everybody, not just women. So this upcoming workshop, everyone is free to attend. You never know what this life skill is going to take you to. You never know. You just never know.
You can actually attest even by looking at her life. She never knew that by joining the life skill training, she was going to end up in palaces. She's going to end up in America. She's going to end up in UK, in Dubai, in Tanzania. Wherever her things go, her presence also go. She's now able to do things that she never thought she would. And you can even see the joy on her face that her life is totally transformed through the hands of our mother, through Agape Family Care. And probably, Doctor, I would like to hear what you'd want to say to our mother for giving us such an opportunity in her life.
I want to thank my mother from the bottom of my heart. She has transformed my life in a way I didn't personally even think was possible. Even when I began to take my things, I didn't have confidence that I made such beautiful things that would find their way in all the places they're finding themselves in. Mama, you are amazing. You are a jewel to me. Words alone are not enough for me to explain what you have done in my life. I thank you so much. Even my children can now do beading. So it's now generational. My children
Wow,
have
your
those
children have
skills.
already taken this skill. How
Yes.
old are they?
The youngest is 8 years old, and she started making the beads 3 years ago.
Wow.
It's a testimony again. I went with her to the shop, and she was bothering me. So I gave her beads, and I said, make these. And people stopped buying what I was making, and they asked to buy what my daughter was making.
Wow, that's amazing. And besides the help from your daughter, you also employ people now.
Yes,
which
I
you
do.
never did when you were a bookkeeper.
No, I didn't. I have employees now, and even other makers come and they're trying to sell me their things to sell in my shop.
Wow.
So you were talking, you were expressing your heart to Mom. You can go ahead.
You know, when words fail you, we have a jewel amongst us. Please don't take it for granted. She offers these trainings. Please take them up. Not only does she say things that you might think, maybe this is for someone. You don't know where it's going to get you. You don't know what the impact of that thing is going to be in your life. Look at my life. Look at my testimony. Look where I am going.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, Ms. Mugwagwa. Maybe finally, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
I'm going to have a gallery. I am going to have shops in America. Something is in the pipeline. I'm going to be in the UK as well. I forgot to mention I'm a brand ambassador as well because of the beadwork. My products have been in the National Art Gallery because of the beadwork. I am going far. I am going so far.
Wow. This is amazing, all this coming through the hands of our mother. People of God, what more can you say about the mother that we have in this house, who is so generous to give these life skills, these business skills to women, to men, to everyone who is willing to come and get trained. We need to thank God for the mother that we have in this place. We need to appreciate her, not just today is the Mother's Day, but every day of our life. She is impacting our lives in many different manners. People of God, we thank you. This was our special testimony for the Mother's Day. Let's give a round of applause. Let's thank God for the mother that He has given us.